Hello. Well, we're doing a car ramble again. I hope that you can hear me. I kind of have the heat blasting up in here because suddenly, out of nowhere, Alabama decided that it wanted to be winter, finally, on February 13th. But yay. Y'all know how these rambles go. I'm just probably going to go on and on about something really stupid. But I am getting very excited. I'm waiting for 2 books to come in the mail today. It should have already come at this point. So when I get home, I'll be excited to check that. You know how it is when you get a package and you're like, oh, where is it? And then you get it and you're like, oh my God. Or maybe that's just me. I don't know. But anywho, very excited for that. I just came out of Books A Million and bought 7 books there. So I have 9 books, counting the 2 that are in the mail today, that I've gotten. So I will be filming a book haul. But that's exciting, right? I can't help it, you guys. So I worked at this exact Books A Million, which is the original, by the way. Fun fact, I live in the hometown of Books A Million, where it started. Yay. I worked there for 5 years. From 2008 to 2013. So I worked there for that amount of time. And so you'd think I'd be over it. And I think for a couple of years after I was. But it's the only bookstore in town. Like, that's it. So I've had to make my amends with it mentally and emotionally so I could go back and shop there again. But it took me like 6 years to get around. But anywho, so I'm excited to film that. Oh, another fun fact. Back at Christmas, my husband bought me the Ancestry DNA kit because it's something I've been like very curious about. Because I know nothing about my family on either side. I know a little bit about my grandparents' parents on my mom's side. And that's literally it. I don't know anything further back. And then I know nothing, like literally zero, about my father's side. So I was fascinated to see exactly what even am I. Because I knew I had some Irish in there. And of course English, I'm sure. But that was it. Everything else was subject to just be like, who knows. So I got my results back. And it was kind of shocking. It was like 61% English/Welsh. So that's fun. But then 22% Scottish. I was like, whoa. So that was really cool and like mind-blowing and game-changing for me. And then 8% Irish, 8% Norway, which was totally shocking for me. And then 1% Sweden. I was not shocked to see that I really did not have any Eastern European in me. I figured I did not. Just based on the culture of my family, we're very English, Irish kind of people. As is the area I live in, it's predominantly settled by people who are of Scotch-Irish descent. So that wasn't shocking. But I was shocked by how much Scottish and that there was any Norwegian and Swedish at all. That was shocking. But the Scottish was my biggest takeaway. You know that I'm a Celtic warlock, Celtic pagan warlock. So that's important to me, working with those spirits of that area. And while it's not necessary to have any actual blood from that area to work with those spirits, I think it's cool that I do. Ever since I was little, I've just been fascinated with Scotland, actually, and Ireland, so that's really cool. But yeah, it's just something I've always been pulled to. And there's spirits that I inherently began working with before I even knew their names. So that's cool. I have found myself over the years doing things like folk magic type things off of just intuition that later I found were traced back to Celtic practices. So that's cool. Very much so that magic is in your, it's in there, like it's in our ancestral memories. That's cool. What was I saying? Oh, also for me, I think it's important, people talk a lot about working with your ancestors, but I didn't know who my ancestors were. So it was like, how am I supposed to work with them? But now I have a better understanding of who they are, or who they were. And I've kind of already been working with them, so that's cool. Also, I think it's kind of cathartic and healing for me to work with my ancient ancestry, because I don't have good family experiences in this life at all, and I have zero, count it, zero, family involved in my life, in this life. So I think that is a healthy and cathartic way for me to, reshape, refocus on what family and ancestry means to me. Like, because sometimes when people talk about their ancestors and their family, I get a little triggered, I guess would be the word. But I get a little triggered because I just think of all these bad memories and bad experiences, bad feelings, that, I've worked through them pretty well, but they don't ever go away. Especially when it's, when the memories are so severe, when it was trauma, not just like, oh, my family are bad people. No, it was like trauma, right? Traumatic experiences. So anyway, I told you this would be a ramble. But anyway, so I thought that was cool. And then, what else is happening? Oh, so yeah, I cannot wait to show you guys the books that I got today. I think you'll be excited by them. If you're at all like me, and you're like a mythology, folklore, like freak, then you'll be excited. I was very excited. It's so funny. I used to have I don't know how many, a lot of, God, someone needs to fix these roads. Anyway, I used to have a lot of books, period. And then when my husband and I moved in together, like 6 years ago, I said, okay, I'm gonna get rid of my books and I'm gonna go digital. That lasted for all of probably not even one day. And so ever since, I've been slowly rebuilding my magical book collection back. I've done a lot of rebuys and new buys, of course, but I'm just slowly building it back to what it was. I think now I'm actually almost surpassing what my magical book collection was, because a lot of my collection was fiction before. So that's funny. I've gone digital on my comic book reading. If you don't know, I'm a huge comic book fan. Oh, look, the Flash. But I'm a huge comic book fan. And so I've gone completely digital on that for 7 years now. But I just can't do it with physical books, you guys. Can you? Because I can't. I just can't do it. I have to have a physical book in my hand when I'm reading nonfiction. And I think it's because I like to skip around. I don't read nonfiction in a linear fashion. I jump all around to chapters and sections of chapters that interest me, and I read it like that. That's just how I am. It's the same with magical books, which are nonfiction, but any kind of magical book, like witch book, I can't help it. I just jump all around. I can't read them just front to back. And I've always been that way with magical books. Can't help it. Yeah. Also, I should be getting to film with my friend who is Christian, that I talked about in a recent video, where you can still, right now, as of now, and probably for the next 4 days, you can still leave questions on that video. You'll see it. It's a very recent upload. If you have any questions for him, you can leave those in that. or on my Instagram, or on my Facebook page, or on my Twitter. You can leave them anywhere. But since you're already on YouTube probably, just head over to that video. And if you have any questions about the Bible, about Christianity, about the dark side of Christianity, the contradictions of Christianity, or if you just have genuine positive questions about Christianity and about Jesus and anything, you can leave those there for him. I'm very excited. He's very excited. He's very nervous about filming it. I'm excited. It should be happening this week, or what is it today? Right now I'm filming, this is Saturday. So, which this video should go up today. But, yes, we should be filming the next week. Very exciting. I'm very excited. I don't know if we're gonna film in person or not. We probably will. He's been in my COVID bubble since day one of COVID-19 becoming a thing, and lockdown happening. Oh, you're shaking all over the place. Anyway, he's been in my COVID bubble since day one, because we're such close friends. I mean, he's like basically family. Talking about rewriting family. He and his fiance, who I knew his fiance first, so that's how I met him, was because she started dating him. But he's family at this point. So is she. Like, you know what I mean? Friends like that. We all have friends like that. You're just so tight with them. So anyway, cannot wait to film that. I can't wait to see what his reactions and responses are going to be to things. Like, genuinely, I cannot wait. I can't wait. It's going to be very interesting. Because I know that he's kind of a classical Christian in a lot of senses. But at the same time, he's very much his own kind of Christian. I've never asked him some of the questions that I'm going to ask him. So it's very exciting. But yeah, so go comment on that video if you have any questions for him, or comments, or concerns, or whatever. You're not gonna offend him, I promise, so ask him anything. And we've already had some deep cutting questions that have been asked to us, particularly on the Facebook page. Which, by the way, if you didn't know, I now have a Facebook page for the Nerdy Warlock. I have an Instagram for the Nerdy Warlock, if you didn't know. And I also now have a Twitter for the Nerdy Warlock. So you can find me anywhere and everywhere, you guys. Okay? Yeah. This really is a ramble. I appreciate you guys, though, so much for watching my videos, liking them, and you comment on them, and we have really great interactions on the Facebook page now. That's been really fulfilling. Yeah, you can book Ogum readings there, which I am going to put up an updated video about what Ogum is. I have one on this channel, but it's like 5 years old or something at this point. So I'm going to make a new one for you about what is Ogum. I'm also going to start offering oracle readings as well, oracle card readings, where you get to pick the deck you want. I'll make a video about that too on here. And then, of course, you can head over to the Facebook page to actually learn more about the decks. Pick one that you want to be read from, and then book a reading with me there on the Facebook page, which we'll do in private, obviously, but you do it through the Facebook page, through Messenger. You'll see the tab on there. It's a little services tab. Yeah, and you can ask me any questions you want in those readings. Nothing's off limits. We can go as heavy and dark as you want, or as light and superficial as you want. It's perfectly fine. But yeah, it's been very fulfilling for me lately to get to dive full in on the Nerdy Warlock, becoming a full-time Warlock. I will be making more videos about what a Warlock is through my definition and what it means and how it's different from a witch, if at all. So be on the lookout for that too. Anywho, thank you so much for listening. I am pulling into the Chinese food place, so I've got to go. Oh, I'm up next. All right, so I've got to go. Thank you so much, you guys. Bye.